I'm going to do a basic lesson on how to play major scales in, I think, the easiest possible way. So the major scale is a series of whole steps and half steps. You got to know what those are first. If you put your finger on any fret, any string, it'll be pretty easy to learn what whole steps and half steps are. So I'm going to play this note, 5th fret, 1st string. A half step is just one fret in either direction. So up on the guitar is this way. So I'm going to move up from here by a half step. Just puts me there. Now I'll move down a half step. Puts me there. Whole steps are just 2 half steps. So 2 frets. Same deal. I'll start on the 5th fret on string 1. A whole step up will take me to fret 7. Whereas a whole step down from fret 5 would take me to fret 3. So these are whole steps and half steps. Scales in general can be boiled down to sequences of whole steps and half steps in any kind of order, then that's what makes them sound the way they do. So the easiest way to start this is by just playing an open string. An open string is the 0th fret. That's like an imaginary person is like fretting this note for you here behind the nut of your guitar. That's what happens when you do that. The major scale is, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And 8 is the same note as 1, it's just an octave higher. 1, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. So here's what just happened. From the first note to the second note of any major scale is a whole step. So if 1 is the open string, the 0th fret, 2 is a whole step up on the 2nd fret. 2 to 3 is another whole step. So from 2 I go up a whole step and I'm at 3. Half step to 4. That's something you're going to want to remember. It's easiest to memorize the major scale based on that there's only 2 half steps and the rest are whole steps. One of these half steps is here from 3 to 4. 4 to 5 is a whole step. 5 to 6 is a whole step. 6 to 7 is a whole step. And then 7 to 8 or 1 is your second half step in the scale. There's only 2 half steps in any major scale between the 3rd and the 4th, the 7th and the 8th. Okay? You can get a ton of practice really, really fast. You don't have to worry about your fingering or anything. You can just use one finger. Like here, I'll show you right now. We can just play a major scale going up and down on every single string, and it's tons of practice. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. I can do this on the 2nd string. It'll just be a different major scale. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. These notes will always sound the way they do. I'll try to sing this next one really badly for you. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And then this one. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. So I'm going to start speeding up here to prove a point. And I'll go back up the strings because it's free practice. I'm only using one finger. I'm really trying to understand how the major scale works. I'm not trying to necessarily get super good at playing it with this exercise. I just want to understand the whole steps and half steps that make up the scale. And by doing it between the open strings, you're always going to go between this distance, a full octave, and your only 2 half steps are ever going to be here, 3 to 4, and also here, 7 to 8. You can really clearly see what all the intervals look like at this point. 3, 4. It's always going to be right here if you start on open strings. 7, 8. It's always going to be right here if you start on open strings. You can play 5 different major scales all at once and it'll sound like crud, but it's an interesting exercise. So 1, the open, 2, 3, half step to 4, 5, 6, 7, and then 8. 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Really bizarre sounding, because we're playing 5 different major scales at the same time. I guess you'd call that like polytonality or something. So, yeah. The other thing that this does for you is it teaches you a lot about, well, the notes of major scales. So wherever 1 was, 1 is just the note we're starting from. Wherever it was and what note it is determines which major scale you're playing. So string 1, where we started off, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Because 1 is E, this was an E major scale. So if you're ever playing in the key of E major, you can just kind of like know where those notes are. And if you know other stuff about the musical alphabet, you can determine how those notes should be called. In the E major scale, you'd have E as 1, of course, but 2's not F, it's F sharp. 3 is not G, it's G sharp. 4 is just good old A, 5 is B. 6 is C sharp, 7 is D sharp. And you know, you're back to E at that point. There's all kinds of ways to determine that. I'll definitely make videos about that stuff in depth. But like, if you just know where the notes are on your guitar visually, you can just literally look and see. Here's F, and if I'm playing this note as 2, and it's supposed to be some kind of F because 1 was E, but it's not F. It's a half step above F. That's the definition of F sharp. So that's just a really easy way to think about that. Similarly, these on the 2nd string are the key of B major. If you're ever playing in the key of B major, there are your notes. If you're ever playing in the key of G major, which is all the time, all these notes off your open 3rd string, your G string, there they are. G, A, B, C, D, E, F sharp, G. 1, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. So then this is the key of D major on your 4th string. This is the key of A major on your 5th string. And then you're at E major again on your 6th string because string 1 and 6 are both tuned to E in standard guitar tuning. So I think this is probably one of the most useful things for beginners, because caterpillar exercises, while those can like teach you how to like get your fingers moving and stuff, it's really, really important that you start using the sounds that like music actually does. Certainly like chromatic runs and all that happen in music, but like 95% of all the notes that most people tend to listen to and like are just notes of the major scale. So like if you can learn to see them, identify them, hear them, then you're like off to a really, really good start, because you're playing with all of the stuff that music does and tends to build itself around. And you're training your ears because of that. And I think one weird reality of music that took me a long time to figure out is that we're just making noise here. And like, if you're a musician, your job is to make noise, so you got to know what the noise sounds like. Well, it sounds like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 1, you know? And you can hear that 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And then if you know a whole bunch of stuff, like a 3 chord is minor, and there are minor pentatonics you can build off of that. And you can form chords from there, like, and then E minor pentatonics, G sharp minor pentatonics over E. think I was saying that wrong the whole time, creates a really beautiful like E major 9 sound. That's like getting really complicated and all that. But it's honestly also not, because I'm just only ever thinking, what major scale am I in? And then using the intervals of it and the things I can build from those harmonically to color the sound in whatever way that you might want at the time. So hopefully that helps. I guess just to round it off, what I'm really saying here is you should learn to practice the major scale, going up and down every single string on your guitar. You should do it like every day until you're like sick of it and bored of it and you totally get it. And then another interesting thing you can do to round this lesson off is, well, once you understand it, you need to learn to move one, because it's not always going to be on an open string. That's just a nice coincidence sometimes. So like, I don't know, what if it was the 5th fret? So like now on string 1, this is A. So I'm playing in the key of A major again, but I'm thinking about 1 right here on this string. 1, but the same rules apply. From 1, it's a whole step to 2. 2 is a whole step to 3. 3 to 4 is one of our only half steps. 4 to 5 is a whole step. To 6 is a whole step. To 7 is a whole step. And then 7 to 8 is another half step. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And that would be A major. And then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 1. 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. That would be F major. Sorry, E major. And then this, C major. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 1. 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Then this would be G major. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 1. 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. This is D major. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 1. 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And then A major again, of course. And then you start learning a bunch of interesting stuff, because you're like, whoa, that key of A major, it's also right here off this open string. You know, and we saw a lot of doubles already. There's only 12 notes. You're gonna, if you start exploring this stuff, you're gonna instantly find all the copies and stuff, because this exercise alone goes through 5 different keys. If you just start them all from the same fret, there's only 12 notes. You do the math, you only have to do this in a couple different spots before you've already played in every key that exists, basically, and then you're just deepening your knowledge. So, go practice that.